go.
What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. Blumhouse has a brand new film, and it's called Don't Let Go. Today we're going to talk about it. I'd love to see your thoughts down below, and let's get into it. So after a man's family dies in what appears to be a murder, he gets a phone call from one of the dead, his niece. He's not sure if it's a ghost or if he's going mad, but as it turns out, he's not. So this film is written and directed by Jacob Estes, who wrote Rings. Yeah, not a good movie. You know, you look at this cast and it's really, really good. David Oyelowo, I mean, phenomenal talent. And then Storm Reid. You know, I wasn't the biggest fan of Wrinkle in Time, but you look at something like Euphoria and you see this girl, she's got the chops, she can act. And both of those players come into this movie and they're really good. Nothing wrong with the performances, really all of the way around. And even the side characters, you have Brian Tyree Henry. I mean, this is top tier talent, and I'm not gonna lie to you, the first 10-15 minutes of this film, when you start diving into the tragedy of the situation and really the relationship between the two leads, it works, and it works super well, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's going to be as bad as I anticipated it to be, because from the lack of marketing and the fact that I have seen the trailer one time in front of one movie like a week ago for the very first time, didn't give me high hopes, and there has literally been nothing telling me this movie's in theaters. And if you go to my YouTube story right now, I have a picture. I was the only person in my theater, and it's a big theater, and it's a big city that I'm living in, so it doesn't speak well for its box office, but you know what? Box office doesn't matter. Austin, how's the quality of the film? Well, this movie deals with time travel in a sense. Not that the characters themselves are time traveling, but it's the fact that he is talking to his niece, except his niece is 2 weeks in the past, he is 2 weeks in the future, after he's dealing with the passing of his niece, yet somehow they're able to contact each other. We don't know how. They're able to contact each other, and it's almost like the universe is allowing this to happen so he can save the life of his niece, whom he has a wonderful relationship with. Now, I expected to feel more from this film, especially after the first 10-15 minutes. Like I said, I was into the story. I'm like, okay, it's pretty good so far. Nothing tragically horrible. And I can say that about the film as a whole. There's nothing tragically horrible here until you start to think about the plot and the rules established by the entire concept of time travel integrated into this movie. And I say this all the time about a movie dealing with time travel. You throw out everything you know from other movies. It's all about the rules established within that universe. If they work according to how they are set up, then I'm absolutely fine with them. The problem with this film is they don't do a very good job of setting things up, and then when they do happen, there is a scene involving a certain character putting gum underneath a table, and then another character finding that gum, but the way that it's edited and spliced together makes it look like it's happening concurrently, and the second you start to think about, wait a second, if she's doing this at that point, wouldn't that have already been under, except when he's looking under the table, it's not there until he's telling her to put that... And then your whole brain starts to scramble and you're thinking too hard about the movie, and everything that is trying to impact you with a high level of emotion is just not getting to you because you're so, and you shouldn't be confused because this movie really is supposed to be the focus of that relationship, and that kind of carries you emotionally, and you just kind of ignore the other stuff and you're like, oh, that's cool. Till you start to think about it, then it doesn't work. The problem is they stop focusing on that relationship for chunks of the film, and they start veering into other genres, other territories of, well, maybe there are certain characters on both sides of the fence, and who can you trust in this situation? And they start exploring the reasoning, like the entire drug deal gone wrong situation, why that happened to her father and his family in the first place, and they start ignoring what I loved about the film at the beginning of it, and that's the relationship between the two characters. And you have two, in my opinion, really good actors, especially David Oyelowo. It doesn't pay off for me because I felt a lack of emotion. I felt a lack of what they were trying to display towards the audience, and that's for you to care about the characters in this situation, and of course you're going to care because of the acting, but when you start tearing apart the script and you hear some of the dialogue, which is just extremely cheesy and on the nose, and the way they try to hit you with these twists, and it's like, you didn't see that coming, it's like, but I don't care about this as much. Let's get back to what we loved, and even the concept of the time travel, it's fine if you don't start to break your own rules, but the movie continued to do that, and at the end of the day, I felt empty. It was an empty experience, and not everyone's going to feel that way. I feel like people can watch this movie and just gravitate towards the emotion because it really is emotional. You start to think back to why it worked in the first place. It set up this foundation, but the foundation begins to crumble, and the movie, in my opinion, completely fell apart. David Oyelowo does what he can here. He just can't salvage this movie from being something that I'm going to forget about, and that's why I'm going to go 45% with Don't Let Go. It's one I wanted to like more than I did. Big fan of Blumhouse and what they do. This one's just, I never want to revisit it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Did you enjoy this movie? Definitely let me know in the comments below. And hey, we hit a milestone on this channel. We hit 40,000 subscribers. I would just want to say thank you for everything that you guys do for me. This is not the only time I'm talking about this. This weekend we're doing a live Q&A, probably Sunday. I'm hoping to get the community in there and we can all talk, have a bit of fun, and of course doing all kinds of things on Patreon. Just did a review for the 1982 movie The Dark Crystal to get prepared for the Netflix series coming tomorrow morning, and that should be my next video. Thank you so much once again for watching, and I'll see you very soon.